Wednesday. Happiest Wednesday to you. You are tuned in to Transitions, Life Lessons, and Legacy with Hyacinth and Robert Henderson. Pops, how you feeling today?
Oh man, I'm feeling really, really good, daughter. I mean, the temperature has come down. I mean, I think now here is right now in South Florida, even though it's a snowstorm north, but it's around what 50 degrees, 60 degrees,
It's
something like that.
cold.
Yeah, it is cold.
It's
It is cold.
it's cold. It's
Cold
actually
for South Florida.
I'm freezing. Um, let's just talk about that. I am freezing, and that is I'm going to tie that into the topic of today's show.
Okay.
Right. But before we get into that, we want to welcome everybody for being here today. Thank you for being here. You are tuned into Transitions. Transitions is a weekly web show with myself, Hyacinth Henderson, and my pops, Mr. Robert Henderson Jr., certified financial planner. And we are the Henderson Financial Group. By day, we run a very successful financial planning and investment advisory practice. We have several shows kicking off on Saturday and Sunday. But during the week on Wednesday, we decided to get together and just talk to you about some of our experiences, some of our beliefs, our mindset. To give you an insight on what got us to where we are now. Right. So a lot of you all know us as the money people. Like, he's a money man, she's a money lady. But there are some inner workings and things that brought us to that point. So Transitions is about being transparent. Transitions is about being transparent and talking about lessons, life, and legacy.
Yes.
All right. And so what I want to do, speaking of it being cold, this morning I got up. First of all, for the past few nights, I've been sleeping in sweatshirt.
Oh, okay.
Like sweatshirts. Socks, like I, let me be completely transparent.
No. Okay, I understand. Don't say you slept in that. Okay,
I did. I slept in this.
Don't tell the people.
Don't
that.
tell
Okay,
them.
no,
Do you
no.
think they heard me?
No, okay,
oh my
don't
God,
tell them.
I felt so good.
They didn't hear you yet.
They didn't
okay?
hear me.
Right.
Okay, but I have more clothes under
You
here.
slept in one like that.
One.
Because you just ran into the office, okay? Don't tell me just out of the bed right into the
Put
car.
on some makeup. I'm here.
I didn't raise her like that, y'all. I just want you to know.
Yeah. Well, you did your best.
Yeah, I did my best.
And this is the outcome. So it's been cold in Miami, right? And so at night, I have on my socks. Last night, I didn't even have on socks. And it's been cold. And I'm like,
you didn't? You didn't have no socks?
I didn't have on
I sleep
socks.
in socks every night.
Your grandchildren keep
fluffy.
taking my socks.
The big fluffy socks. I like big fluffy socks every night.
They keep taking my socks.
Why?
I have one pair of socks, and that pair of socks is exclusively for my sauna experience.
Okay.
When I get in the sauna,
All right, I'll order you some. I'll go to Amazon or something. Order you some socks today.
I'm just
All right,
like,
how about that? I'll order you some big socks.
okay.
All right, done.
All right.
Done with that. All right.
Okay, so I was like, oh my God, it's cold. It's been cold. And it dawned on me, I'm like, Hyacinth, you can turn on the heater.
Yeah, and Hyacinth, when you're talking about it's cold, I mean, look at here. We have, Iris in Atlanta. It's freezing. It's probably 30 degrees there.
This is my
mean,
reality.
I was
My
just
reality.
talking to people all over, man. And up north, the house in the Poconos that we have. Oh my God, the snow is covering the house. They just told me that.
Do you want to know something?
Pocono Mountains.
My fingers are numb inside of my house. That's how cold I am.
Well, why don't you just turn on the heater?
You're right.
Yeah.
I had that epiphany this
That's
morning.
doing things a different
in
way.
a different way.
Right.
As I thought about that, I was like, girl, why don't you just cut on the heater? But
right.
in that instant, I had a flashback of my younger days, right?
Yeah.
And y'all weren't cutting on no heater.
Well, it wasn't that cold.
See what I'm saying? The point is,
And
you
plus,
weren't.
I don't like it to be too hot. I like it's
Here we
cold
go.
enough where you can put the cover up over your head, make you feel good. That's what I like.
Now you see why I've been freezing.
Yeah, but you have a heater.
So,
Don't blame it on me. Remember, you got the new thought.
right. So, but I'm pulling this all together.
I
I'm like,
just had you. You think you're the one that thinks
I am
thoughts.
the thinker that thinks the thoughts,
That's
right?
right.
So I'm like, oh my God, I'm freezing. It's going on days. Your grandkids are like, Mom, it's 50 degrees in this house.
How you
They're
doing, Miss
dropping
Redhead?
hints. And I'm like,
She's
child,
freezing over
please,
here, Miss
you need to
Redhead.
put on a sweatshirt. Yesterday, your grandson had on 3 sweatshirts.
Oh man, why you raising my grandson like that?
But
Can you please just turn on the heater?
I turned it on right before I left.
Okay.
Right before I left, I turned
Thank
it
you.
on.
Thank you.
But it reminded me. So why am I telling you this? I'm not telling you that I'm sleeping in sweatshirts and it's so cold
I'm
for
trying
no
to-
reason.
yeah. Tell me
Because
why.
I had to let go of my old thinking. My old thinking says when I was younger, we didn't cut on no heater. We didn't turn on the heater. We either had a space heater, but your house, you definitely didn't have no space heater. At my grandmother's house back in the
Right.
days, we used to open the oven. We used to open the oven. So here I
At
was.
your grandmother's house,
Yeah.
Grandma Thelma.
Grandma Thelma.
Y'all did?
Yes, we did.
Oh my goodness.
And she had the gasoline space heater.
Wow.
And so this morning, as I was standing in the kitchen contemplating life and like this, and I knew I only had a few minutes before your grandson came down and asked me again, what is for breakfast? I'm like, why you keep asking me this? But this is a story for a different day. I said to myself, girl, you could cut on the heater. Like, you pay the bills here.
A new thought.
A new thought.
Man.
So, and then I had to run out this morning. I had to run out and make a special delivery. And when I did that, I went outside and it was warmer outside than it was in my house.
Oftentimes it's like that. But I know that you know, just have the heater on. That's all.
Just turn it. Well, it's on
Make
now.
life.
I pay the bills. I pay the cost to be the boss. But I'm bringing that because I had to process some of my old ways of thinking, my old experiences, how I was raised, what I experienced before, and realize where it was no longer fitting in my today life.
My Baba said, just turn up the inner.
Turn up the inner heat, Hyacinth. I hear your voice. Yes.
Baba
But y'all
Pearson.
know I'm always on fire, right? I'm on fire. So I said, gosh, this is real life. I had to realize where that old way of thinking, the thing that got us to survive back then, that was fine and dandy. But girl, you got central heat right now.
Things change.
Things change.
And you didn't have a swimming pool back then. Now you have a swimming pool.
Yes, I do.
A whole lot. You have granite counters. I mean, come on.
Okay,
Hyacinth.
okay.
Come
But
on.
I had to make
Pool,
the
Hyacinth.
connection.
Pool. Well, I'm glad you caught up.
And I wanted to bring that got me to thinking. So for those of you who are enjoying my story and me sharing my real life examples and experiences, please drop a 1 in the comments. Let him know I'm not just talking and talking. The reason why I do this is because that's just how life works. That's how we learn. Life is always teaching
And drop
us.
a 2 in the comments and say, just turn up the heater, girl.
Life is always teaching us.
2.
So a
Turn up the
2,
heater.
if you want to cut to the chase and say, turn on the heater.
Just turn up the heater.
And a 1 if you appreciate the thought process, the story behind it. All right. So then when I went outside, it was warmer and I'm like, oh, it's a new day, new thought, new day. All right. So that brings me to what happens when we break free of our own limiting thoughts and limiting behaviors? How
Growth.
do they show up in our life?
Growth.
Right? Because sometimes, if I could have been the type of person who just experienced that and didn't have your favorite word, introspection, and figure out how it tied into the bigger picture, right? All right, so let's go over
See what
some.
Iris says 2.
Yes, too. Well, some people gotta understand and be Team Henderson, team 6'2",
all right,
team
all right.
62.
63
And-
this year. Okay.
Well, I think I like 6'2" though. I don't know if I'm gonna change it every year.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so some
Growth.
limiting beliefs, growth. So what are some of the things that we think as a people that are stuck in the past? They stuck like me, ain't cutting on the heater. Still, some people still out there opening their stove for heat.
Right.
Give me one way that comes to mind for you.
I think especially for people of color. Mm-hmm. We have this. It has been ingrained in us and just geared into our whole psyche. Mm-hmm. The American dream. We have to own a house.
Okay.
Own a house. And in reality, none of us own any of this stuff. We're just here to use it while it's here.
Okay.
Okay, let's let that soak in. We don't own any of it. We don't own any of it. We're just here to use it. We're just passing through. But yet, so many people put all of their money, more than half of their lifetime earnings, into brick and mortar. They do. I mean, they do. I mean, they put more than half of their money paying for shelter. And then you have some people just want to have a whole lot of shelter. Now, listen, if you're making a whole lot of money, you make 10, 20, 50 million dollars a year or whatever, then, you can do what you want to do with your money. I mean, you have it, But if you're working from 9 to 5, hustling and bustling, can get fired, laid off, or quit.
Anytime.
Right.
Just happen.
Then it's like you spend so much time trying to get this house, and then trying to get this house to show out, to your friends. And the upkeep on that house is, oh my God, every 20 years you have to done there build a house over.
Wait, so let me make sure I'm following you. Y'all know I like to stretch it out.
Yeah,
So what you're
yeah.
saying is one of those things, and now I'm sweating up here. Can you believe
All right,
that?
turn it out.
So one.
See that? See how quickly See how quickly you
This
went
is my
from hot?
layers under here.
All right, keep going. You're probably
One of
drinking that juice. What is that? Apple? What is that? Some more
I
garlic
taste
in there?
ginger. I don't taste any garlic today, but I
Okay.
do taste a lot of ginger, which is great for my immune system.
Okay, so maybe now you're getting hot.
Ginger and spinach.
Right on Facebook. Go from cold to hot.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so what you're saying is one of the old ways of thinking that we have is you got to follow that American dream and get you a house
Right. You got to and pay it off.
and pay it off.
Now, when I say get a house, first of all, having shelter, that's all you really do need is shelter. And you want to have shelter where you don't hear gunshots or you got a duck or drive-bys and stuff like that. You want to be safe, But having shelter, you don't have roaches and
Right.
stuff all
You
over.
want to pay for peace of mind.
You want to have peace of mind. You have
Yeah.
a good neighborhood. Now that you can get that.
Okay.
But people somehow we've been told that we need to all own a home. We have people 70 years old telling me, I want to own a home. 80 years old, I never owned my home.
You're absolutely right. Because I speak to clients and sometimes they're at retirement age, right? So they're
Right.
59 and a half, they're 60,
65.
62, whatever. And they say, you know what? I don't own a home. I want to buy a home.
Yeah,
And I'm like, why?
right.
For who? For
Yeah.
what? Why do you want a home?
Because it makes people feel, especially people of color, it's like we don't have a lot. At least we have a home. But think about this, especially nowadays since real estate is so expensive right now. We're in the zone where real estate is high. I mean, let's say you're paying $2,000 a month for real estate. Let's say you work for the county or city or whatever, and you're paying $2,000 a month, for a home. Now, that's just the mortgage payments. But what about the utilities? What about the air conditioning? Because the air conditioning going to break. What about the windows? And that roof is going to have to be replaced. And you can't even talk to a roofer without him saying, oh, replace the roof? $20,000.
Right.
Minimum.
Off top. You like,
Off
what?
top. What? That's $20,000. You ain't even looked at it
Right.
yet. Oh, $20,000.
Right.
you
I
know?
can look from the outside. I can
Yeah.
see the size of the roof. But listen, I feel, I'm good in energy, and I feel some people who are watching, they're like, hold up. I know they're not saying don't buy no real estate.
No, but see, that's what I'm getting to. So
Okay.
think
Oh,
about
you
this.
just take the, okay.
Think about this. You're paying I know a lady who has never owned a home. She's 65 years old. She always had fabulous condos, fabulous apartments, and she'll stay over there by the water. And then, in 3 or 4 years, she'll get tired of that thing. She'll move somewhere else. But she has a lot of rental property,
Oh,
And
that's
the-
the key.
and the rental property
Okay.
pays for her to live and
Okay.
travel.
Say that again,
She
please.
has a lot of rental.
Okay.
She has a lot of.
Okay.
She has 15 different rental properties, and they all paying her every month.
Okay.
So she just can travel. She can go live in that condo,
Okay.
on the ocean. She can go live on that. She said, okay, every 3-4 years I'm just changing because she just want to change the scenery, and she's loving it. Whereas we have been taught to put more than half of our money on shelter, brick and mortar, which robs us of almost all of our wealth. Now,
Our liquidity, yeah.
think about the numbers, what I'm about to tell you. Imagine putting $2,000 a month and paying for your mortgage. Do you know that's $24,000 a year?
Yeah.
Do you know in 15 years you would have paid paid out $360,000?
Wow. Wait, let's just go back. $24,000 a year.
$2,000 a month payment.
$2,000 a month. But let's just be real. Let's be trill with it, right? A lot of our people aren't even saving or paying themselves $2,000 a month.
Right, but they got a house
Right.
and they're paying $2,000 a month
Right.
for a home.
Right.
So that's just the mortgage. That's not even upkeep.
Insurance.
That's not right. That's not even the maintenance. But $2,000 a month paying out, in 12 months, that's $24,000. Over 15 years, that's $360,000. If you look at a 30-year mortgage, in 15 years, you done came out of your pocket with $360,000. In 15 years, and you bought a house for $400,000, you still owe $370,000.
Because of nobody looks at the truth in lending because of the interest.
Compound interest,
Right.
right?
The compound. That's
And it
where
works
the money
against
is
you.
going. It's not really going towards the principal.
But think about this: if you would have been if you can take $2,000 and save a month, that's $24,000 a year. In 15 years, you got $360,000. That's with no interest. Imagine putting interest on top of it. There's a lot of people who work for the county, the state, for employers for 15, 20, 30 years, and they don't walk away with
At
$360,000.
all. But you know what, Henderson, you're absolutely correct when you say that it's the American dream.
Yes.
It's in the
Program.
American. It's a programming, and I'm glad we see how my not having on the heat has worth something. It brought
I
me
don't
to
see-
realizing.
I
I
don't
don't know. It's
I don't
okay. The
see
people
that.
in
I don't
Facebook
see
and YouTube land see it. They'll comment. They'll let me know.
I don't
But
see
it
that.
brought me to realizing where I was stuck in the old way of thinking. And so an old way of thinking really and truly is realizing that you've been sold a dream. And the dream is go to college, do what go to high school, go to college, go buy you a house to live in. That is achieving the American dream. And really and truly what a lot of people don't know is that the rich and the wealthy and the famous, them condos, those nice properties, they're renting them.
Yes.
They're renting them.
They've been renting cars. They're
They're
leasing cars.
They're leasing. It's only the programming and the brainwashing that says you gotta own a car, you gotta own a home so you can do backflips in, and there's a place for it. So don't misunderstand what we're saying. We love real estate. We absolutely love real estate, but more than we love real estate,
How you do it.
we love building wealth.
Right.
We love building wealth, and we want to make that the easiest way possible. And so when you buy your primary residence first, then you kind of tie your hand. You could put one hand behind your back. The hand behind your back is the hand that you have to use to pay that mortgage. You have to use to pay that maintenance, those utilities, you have all that stuff. So now you're trying to get ahead in the wealth building game with only one hand, as opposed to using both of your hands to say, listen, all right, they love real estate. Let me get this American dream out of my mind and let me do things a new way. Let me cut on the central heat. Let me do it in a different way and say, you know what? Let me buy a property, but I want to buy it to rent it out.
Right. And that's the first thing I've done. When I was 19 years old is when I first bought my first rental property, and I've done that. And it has felt, it just done well for me. And I told you the same thing. And then you bought rental property.
I
You did the
had
same
like
thing.
3 of them before I finally got something to live in.
Yes, and then Jasmine and Charles, this month they're closing on their piece of property, a rental
good.
property, and they still live home. And so when you do that, you setting up an asset that's going to pay you. Now, when you buy the rental property, you get the rental property, you have people working for you. It's good because you're providing housing for someone else who really needs housing, affordable housing too. On top of that, the government will give you all kind of tax breaks for doing that to offset the taxes that you pay on your other job. All right. So that's good. And if you keep doing that, you are an owner. You're in business, so to speak, So think about this. So the person who says and still believe in that old way of thinking that I'm going to buy this house, I don't want to have no rental property. I don't want to have, my money working for me. I'm just going to keep buying this house. I'm going to keep fixing it up, putting all money in this house. I'm going to get new dues, new debt. I'm going to make the house all over. And now you've been living in the house and your goal is to hurry up and pay the house off. Now think about this. If you hurry up and pay the mortgage off, well, you have no mortgage. And now you're saying you're going to retire. All of the money that you've been hustling and bustling to pay has went into the house. It went into the dirt. So you really have no money. Psychologically, you really don't have no money. Even though you say you live in a house and it's worth $400,000 or $500,000 and you have no mortgage, you don't have no money.
Go get it.
Go get it. Try
Real
to go
quick.
get it.
Go get it right
Go
quick.
get it. That's right. You did overtime. You did
Right.
extra payments. You paid the house off. Now, bam, the house worth $500,000, $600,000. You have no mortgage. Now, you think you got a lot of money. Where is it? Let me see you go get
Show
that
me.
money and go to the grocery store. Let me see it. No, because then you not working anymore because you retired, right? And you getting your Social Security or whatever, right? But all that money that you spent a lifetime trying to pay off that brick and mortar, where is it now? How is it working for you? Matter of fact, tell me how much interest that paid off house earns for you every year. 0. You complain that the banks don't pay you nothing when you put money in there. You worse. You put more money into brick and mortar that you sleep in and you live in, and it's in the dirt. It's equity. That's ego. You've been duped. Let me tell you something. People that don't look like you, most of you people, especially talking to people of color, People that don't look like you, they use a house. They pull their equity out, and they do stuff with it. They buy rental property. That's what they do. You have to, if you want to say that your house is paid off, and I'm talking to you right now, and it's too late because you done paid it off, why are you sitting on there with all that pile of money just for ego? Because when you get ready to go to heaven, your children, whoever you're going to leave it to, you think they come back and live in a paid off house too with all that money in the dirt?
They cashing out.
They cashing out. Ching-ching.
Cha-ching.
Thank you.
Cha-ching.
Right.
So listen, I love this. I love this. So I always say that it's ego or ignorance. So I love that you said, is it the ego? Because I don't think that everybody's operating an ego and saying, well, I want a house and this and this. Some are. And so here's the thing, for those of you who are listening and watching this, now you can move into the place of ego. Because if you listen to what we say, ego is, I know better, I ain't going to do better, I want to do it my way.
And remember, what we're talking about is just a new thought.
Right.
Just thinking a little different.
Right.
That's all.
And ignorance says, I didn't know.
Yes.
I didn't know. And if you're ignorant to something, it's okay. We don't have to have a negative connotation with the word ignorance. You can move from ignorance to enlightened. And now that you're enlightened, you can say, I'm doing things in a new way, in a different way, so that I can have a new result.
But you know, there's comfort in being a conformist.
I guess, that's what fools like, right?
Well, I don't want to call them fools.
I mean, but come on now.
No, Hyacinth. There's comfort in being with other people and being with your peers, so to speak, the way they think.
It's foolish behavior.
But it's a comfort.
It is. It is.
Okay.
Oh, because people like clicks.
Yeah, if you conforming.
Right.
Okay,
you clicked up and now you're comfortable because you got somebody with you thinking as dumb as you are.
If I'm 400 pounds and you 400 pounds, we okay, aren't we?
We clicked up, yeah.
That's right.
And we comfortable.
And then we go get that friend 400 pounds.
Right.
Is anything wrong with us?
No. But when we get with somebody who's not 400 pounds,
right,
then they like, wait a minute.
A little odd.
Right.
So conformity. A lot of people conform. And let me tell you something. You know, you wondering why you feel a certain way, or you just don't mentally, or you think that you was dealt a bad hand. You didn't get an inheritance. You're just not lucky. No. Let me tell you something. Everybody, when you're born, it's like a card game. You have to work with the hand that's dealt to you. If you was born and you came in with no parents, if you was born and you came in with a crackhead mama and daddy, whatever it was, you have to look at the situation, assess it, and play your hand. Now, some people are playing their hand real well, and some people just gave up on their hand. They said, ain't nothing I can do. Listen, as long as you're alive, you can pull and throw out.
But I was just going to say that.
That's right. Oh, you are?
Yes, I was going to say, understand that playing your hand is not the same as holding your hand.
Right.
And a lot of times we hold on to that.
Yeah.
My mama was this,
and
my
that's
daddy
conformity.
was that. Right. Okay.
That's being a conformist, saying, okay, well, my mama, daddy was okay.
Right.
And I'm okay.
Right.
This is what we do.
Right.
But that's conforming. You're much more than that. The creator of the heavens and the earth gave you thought and gave you choice.
And the creator wants to see what you gonna do.
That's right.
What you gonna do? What are you going to do?
The creator says, okay, I gave you a bad hand. Now let me see what you're going to
Work
do.
your magic.
Work your magic, because I put something, the creator says, God, I put something between your ears. Matter of fact, I'm going to put people in your life. Plus, I didn't bring you to earth doing slavery. So there's no excuse you can't read.
Listen, I hope you all out there listening are imagining your life, imagining yourself actually in a game, because as Mr. Henderson is speaking, as 6'2" is breaking this down for us, I am getting a visual. I'm like, okay, I got the hand, I've been given this hand, and then I have the people in my life. And how long is it going to take me to wake up and realize that the people in my life and the cards that I've been dealt, they all have a connection?
That's right.
And then I can make decisions to play my hand accordingly.
That's right.
And connect with different people.
That's
take
right.
do different things, instead of holding my hand and saying, oh my God, I just got this bad hand. No one's here to help me. No one's here to save me. Nobody.
Poor me.
You should have a visual. Everyone who is watching this, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, and shout out to my YouTube family. Y'all be holding it down. They be commenting on our YouTube. When I put them up, yes, they do. I don't know their real names because they have these other names, but they comment. But anyway, wherever you are, you should be creating a visual. Like, yo, I'm in a game right now.
The game of life.
Yes.
And what's so beautiful about it is the Creator God gave all of us choice. Choice. Now, what will stop you from having a bad card? What will stop you from throwing that bad card out and changing up the game of life is fear.
Yes.
You're afraid to do something because it may hurt you.
Yes.
But no, when you're playing cards, sometimes you will throw out a card that you wish you had it back, but just wait a while. The game not over, you'll get another chance at it.
So it's almost like when you have this energy, when you embody this energy of, listen, there's no need for me to be afraid or scared because I know I have everything that I need. All the people around me, all the cards, everything that comes into my existence is a part of this game.
That's right.
And since they're all a part of this game, and then we took this game out of the box.
That's right.
Every piece, every card has a purpose.
That's right.
When you look at it that way, then you can really and truly start to move through fear. I don't want to say without fear because as humans, that's a human emotion, right?
Yes. It's a
through
human
it.
emotion. Right.
Yeah.
Because what happens is fear is crippling. The Creator says, listen, I didn't put you and brought you into this world and created you to be fear because I am. I am who I am. And I knew you before you was in your mother's womb. That's what the Creator says. Now, stop saying that you wasn't born rich or you wasn't this or you black or you white or you fat or whatever or you're an orphan. Come on. Because if you don't believe what I'm saying, there are countless stories of people who were in horrible conditions and now they brought themselves up. That is for you. That's for us to say, okay, it can be done.
That's like the instructions in the game.
That's letting you know.
Right. You pull out the manual, you pull
Right.
out the game,
Right.
and the instruction says, listen, I'm giving you this example, that example, that's in the fine print here.
Right.
They did it and you can do it too.
That's right.
Yeah,
So
I love
you
it.
won't think that it cannot be done. You're not the only one thinking that. The universe will show you people who are doing it. And since the Creator loves us all, but treats us fair, but treats us all different.
Differently.
Because all of us are different. All of us got different fingerprints.
Yeah, different games. We're playing, right? Different game board.
That's right. We are at different times.
Yeah.
But since you're here, you have to say, listen, I got to stop being programmed because, listen, if you don't take over your mind, the system will take over your mind. The system is designed to take over your mind. First of all, it puts fear and doubt in you.
Yeah.
And you don't even know that you're fear and doubt. You conforming. Let me give you a good example of conformity. No, I can't stand traffic.
You really can't stand
Everybody around me know that I can't stand traffic. You know why? I'm gonna tell y'all why I can't.
It's so interesting to me.
Because it reminds me of conformist.
Okay.
Conformity. Because you have 5 lanes on an expressway. It's 12 o'clock. Everybody going, flying. As soon as 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock, without even knowing the next person, not even knowing who in the next car, they conform. This one will go, it's 4 o'clock. Let me go 30 miles an hour. And the speed limit right there says 70. Let me go 30.
Right.
And don't let it be 5 o'clock.
Oh my goodness.
Because then when they come out of the office and get in there, bam.
Stop.
Now, I look at that and I'm like, oh my God, look at these people conforming. It hurts me because they don't have to, because there is no accident. I'm saying that there's no accident and people just come out and conform. Oh, it's 5 o'clock. We should be going 10 miles an hour. And I say, why don't they want to go home?
That they're not at that stage in their game yet.
That's why I can't stand to be around. Listen, I only want to be around people who love themselves, don't have fear, and they want more and they want better. Because wherever you are in life right now, wherever you are, there's always more.
Absolutely.
There's always better. Because there's more knowledge, learning to learn. There's a whole lot of things that you didn't even know, that you didn't even know you didn't know. There is so much to learn, to know, that can help you in your game of life. You think the cars that you have right now are good? You just keep playing and learning. You're going to get better and better and better if you're not afraid. And the good thing about it, what I like, Heisey, is that it is impossible to seek answers and not find. That's part of the. That's part of
1,000%.
That is part of
1,000%.
God, the Creator, that says, "Listen, I'm going to put you here, but I want to let you know this. Be careful what you think. Be careful what you think, because whatever you ask for, seek, and knock on the door for,
coming.
it's coming.
It's on the way.
Now, it's coming. You just have to be able to handle it. Now, some of you all are asking for stuff and you can't handle it. It's not time.
And here's the thing, right? And so they don't understand why you're not receiving it.
Right.
But so there's a group of people who are in that category, and there's also a group of people who are asking for things and do not recognize when it comes.
Okay, explain it.
Okay. So here it is. You're saying, perfect example. I want to bake a cake. I want a cake. Now I want to bake a cake. I want a cake. Oh my gosh. I want a cake so bad. I want a German chocolate cake.
My favorite, right?
Right. See, I threw that in there. I want a German chocolate cake. And you're going about your day, and all of a sudden your neighbor comes over and it's like, hey, I went to the grocery store and they gave me too much XYZ, and it's an ingredient for the cake. I don't know. I don't bake, so I don't know what goes. I bake cookies. So I don't know what goes in the cake. So that happens. And then all of a sudden your child comes home and says, oh, mom or dad, I got you XY. And before you know it, all the ingredients for you to get in that kitchen and make that German chocolate cake, they're right there in your house. But you still getting on your knees every night? Oh, I sure wish I could have a German chocolate cake.
You just want somebody to serve
I
it to
sure wish I could have a German chocolate cake. Instead of saying, I mean, I really wonder if people are waiting for God to come down and say, oh, I am God. Bop, bop.
No.
Go in the kitchen, pick up this, pick up that, and make the cake.
No, because in reality, if an angel all of a sudden appeared right here, Heisey, man, we'd be breaking our neck.
Not me.
Get out of here.
What's up?
Okay, you. Okay, you be like, hey, angel.
What's
hey.
up? I got
The average
something to
person,
talk about.
if somebody, if a spirit came through the
Right.
wall, they will. Oh my God! Someone
You're
have a heart
correct.
attack.
You're
They'll
right.
break out. Oh my God! They'll be
Right.
like, "Ah!"
Right.
You know. Then you ask for me. You know. What I
Right.
mean?
Yeah. I love that.
So we started talking like this because I'm saying I want you all to, if you think you haven't been programmed, you don't know, because you have. You really have. Because if you have five senses, you use your five senses. And the five senses really can be very detrimental to your growth and your belief. I want to say that again. Your five senses can really hinder you from getting where you want to, because it's emotional. And this thing called fear, you cannot be in a conformance. Conformity is the worst thing that you can be. It really is, because you're not really being who you are. Thought is the most powerful thing there is.
You've been reading my Facebook timeline?
I don't have time to read.
I know, it's a joke. I asked because we're in alignment. So today I put a series of posts, and one of them was free your mind.
Yeah.
Yes, control your mind. Whatever you think, so you are. That's it. And so I had a series of posts saying that this morning, and here we are. We don't plan the show. As a matter of fact, y'all know how every week he's usually talking about how I'm late and I slid in. Wouldn't you know, behold and lo and behold, I pull into the office. I don't have my glasses on, so I'm whipping in, about to hit somebody's car. I'm like, wait a minute, let me back out. I back out, and guess who I see getting out of their automobile?
Listen, I was trading stock all morning.
It doesn't matter. You got here the same time as me. Whatever you were doing, you got here at the same time
Okay,
as
daughter.
me.
Okay.
And so when I saw that, I was like, okay, thanks, universe. Thank you for giving me that today. And it was a little bit after 12 o'clock when we got here.
So listen, I want to go back to, because we were talking about housing.
Why don't we only just talk about housing? Can you make that quick? Because I had something else to talk about.
Okay, but listen.
All right.
All right, because think about that. You're paying $2,000 a month. What if you was paying $2,000 a month in a fat insurance policy?
I love that.
Okay, and that means that if you was putting that kind of money into a fat cash value insurance policy that's giving you interest that you can't not lose a dime, forget the stock market, you cannot lose. Can you imagine saving $2,000 a month in the compound something that's giving you interest?
I can imagine. I love that. That's where I put all my extra money.
Well, you do that. Okay, not you.
But most people can't, because they are stuck on the old way of thinking.
And they don't know anybody that they haven't been taught to do that.
Well, the old way of thinking says insurance is only for when you die.
No, but that's. I tell you something. That's the wealthy people. You know who buy the most insurance on the planet? Banks.
Yeah.
banks and corporations. They spend billions and billions of dollars buying insurance, putting money in insurance, not for death now, for the cash value, because the cash value grows like a super Roth. It cannot, listen, it's credit approved, it's lawsuit protection. Plus, you can have access to it anytime you want. And you don't have to draw it out. As long as you have it there, guess what? You don't need a job. You don't need credit. You don't have to draw it out. You can get a line of credit to use it as collateral. Use your money twice. So, okay, so let's say you put in $2,000 instead of buying that house. Okay, you go ahead, go rent an apartment, and you can have some rental property first, all right? Now, you get this rental property, so people they're paying the rent, but you get the assets and it's helping you with your taxes. Now, you're going to take, instead of putting money in a 401k, oh my God. Whew, what a Trojan horse.
That's one of my points. We're going to get to this.
Y'all look up Trojan horse. What is a Trojan horse, okay? The city of Troy, and see how big horse, they fooled those people. That's what the 401k government plans are. So now, putting in $2,000 a month for 12 months is $24,000 a year. In 15 years, first of all, in 10 years, that's $240,000 cash. If you got that in an insurance policy and it's been 10 years, now if you give up the ghost and wake up dead, your loved ones tax-free, they're going to have a lot of money. Because they're going to have probably, I don't know, $1 million or $500,000 tax-free, right? But if you don't give it the ghost and 10 years go by, now you say, listen, I have 200, or it'll be more than 240,000 because it'll be interest, so it'll probably be 300,000, okay? So then you say, I need some money. No, you don't have to drain the tank and go, if you need 100,000 or 200,000 and you got 300,000 in there, you don't go snatch it out. No, your money's supposed to continue to grow uninterrupted, getting compound interest. So if you got 300,000 in there, guess what you do?
You borrow from it. You borrow against it. You leverage it.
You leave your 300,000
let
there.
it keep working.
The insurance company will give you a loan from the side fund. They'll give you 200,000 to go buy your real estate and buy more real estate.
I love that.
Right?
But here's the thing, and I want to keep talking all these little triggers. The old way of thinking, as soon as you said that L word, loan, old way of thinking, I don't want to owe nobody. I don't want no loan. So I hope everyone who's out there listening is picking up what we are putting down, because these key words are trigger words that have been programmed your subconscious mind to think, stay away, fear, fear, fear. No, if the insurance company says, I'm going to loan you some money and you can go do whatever you want to do with it, we want to raise our hands and take that, don't we?
Yeah, because people don't understand loan. Listen, I was just reading that Apple computer, right? Their stock is good, right? They just had the first quarter of $100 billion in one quarter. That's what they earned.
Wow.
In 3 months, they made $100 billion in 3 months, Apple.
Wow.
Now, guess what they also just did?
What?
They said what they're going to do is they're going to sell bonds, IOU, on the open market, 15 with a B, billion-dollar bonds. So when you sell a bond, you give an investor a piece of paper,
Promise to pay you,
and say that we're going to pay you 5% interest. So investors going to give them. Some people are going to put in 100,000 because right now an investor can't get 5% from the
their
bank.
local bank. Absolutely.
So they know that Apple got all this money. So wouldn't you want to lend money to Apple? Why would Apple want to borrow money if they got all this money? This is what they said. They said they're going to issue $15 billion in bonds, and they're going to owe people 15. They're going to pay people 5%. They're going to get 15 more billion. They're going to, from investors, they're going to pay them 5% interest. What is Apple going to do with the $15 billion? They're going to buy their own shares. You know why? Because their stock is growing more than 5%.
Yeah. And they're going to get a better return on their money.
Right.
How smart is that?
So they get money from the masses, putting into the company, buying their own
shares back. So they're not caught up in the word borrowing and loan. And they're like, whatever, have at it. I got a bigger plan at hand.
Right.
Yes.
It's like that arbitrage that we do with some clients. We tell them, listen, if you can borrow money from your bank. I got a client right now. She just said she got approved for interest only, and they're giving her $200,000.
Okay.
Now that interest only, go give them $200,000. The interest only is only 4%.
Okay.
There's an ETF.
Right. 10%, 11%.
11%.
No, so she's not taking that $200,000 and going triggering with it.
No,
She's not doing that.
She ain't going to buy no depreciating asset, no car. She gonna take that $200,000 and put it into a fund that's gonna pay her 11%. Now, that's oh my God, that's 7% free money.
That's what I like to call. That's making them numbers dance. That's how you make the numbers dance.
That's thinking outside the box.
Yeah. And we got to get into that. And so before we move on, one of the things that I love so much about this insurance policy is, yes, you can borrow against it and you can do all these fancy things. But what I really like for my people, my community of people who we want to get some money, we've been trying to get ahead. You know, the road hasn't always been easy. Where can you go and say, listen, hey, I need a couple grand and have it in my bank account in 3 days? So if you have the money in your insurance policy, that is golden. We're not asking you, the insurance company is not asking you, are you still employed? Are you retired? We want your tax returns. We want your W-2s. They're not asking you any of that. They're not checking your credit. They're not asking you nothing. And so that is golden to me, for you to put some money away so that in the future you have the ability to make a phone call, send an email, and take out a couple $1,000s.
So why do you think people are putting extra and paying the mortgage company and putting it in their house? Now they got all this equity in their house, but it's like they don't have no money because they don't have access to it.
They were like me, stuck in the old ways. Don't cut that heater on, girl. That's all it is.
You think that's what it is?
Absolutely. It's either.
So you think people just don't know? Or I think that people are just following the crowd.
Maybe.
Following, what has happened.
Maybe.
And that's what I think. I think, because to think outside the box is to grow.
Absolutely.
And I think
it's
a lot of people have fear.
And how sexy is it for you to tell your friends, oh, I got this insurance policy and I'm putting $2,000 a month in it?
No.
Not very sexy.
No.
They're going to be like, girl, child, I'm paying $100 a month. You know what I mean? So it's a new way of thinking, doing things in a different way. You mentioned the 401k being a Trojan horse. And one of my questions that I wrote down was, and so today's show is about limiting beliefs, limiting ways of thinking that are keeping us stuck in the past. And so one of the points that I wrote down was the only retirement bucket you need is the retirement on your job. A lot of people believe that. As long as I have a good job with a 401k, as long as I got my IRA, I'm set for retirement.
Yeah, but job, that ain't your job. That ain't your company, because you can get laid off, fired, or you can quit because you got that your young supervisor trying to tell you something and they don't like you. You know what I mean?
And beyond that, right? So yes, those are points you can leave the job early, but really and truly, why would you put all your retirement eggs in one basket?
Especially if you don't control.
That's the thing.
You don't control if it goes up or go down, because Wall Street is tricky. Let me tell you something, man. Those people that control the money game, man, they want to dump this thing. They'll dump it, and they dump it, and you be, oh my God, you got to start over. And when they dump it, they selling it. And they're going to buy it back cheaper. I mean, it's
supply and demand.
Come on, man. This is a wicked game.
You got to make some money.
You got to get some insurance somewhere where you can say, okay, listen, I need to be insured. Because, first of all, you want to be covered in different ways. And plus, you want to have access to capital. That's how McDonald's started. That's how
After
Disney
they
started.
stole, right? Yeah.
They started. They couldn't get money from banks. So what
Tapped
they had
in.
insurance policies. And that's how they pull the money from there. And that's how they was able to start.
No questions asked.
No questions
You
asked.
have the money in this policy. I don't care what happens. I don't care what you need it for. I don't care what your credit score is. Your credit score could be a 2.
Right.
And if you have the money in this policy, that's golden for our people. That's golden. Okay, so another stuck in our ways moment that I want to bring to the table is pick one thing and stick with it. What do you think about that? What do you think that's doing to us as a community of people?
You mean in terms of, I was just having this conversation with someone last night because people have come to me, Henderson, y'all got a lot of clients. If it ain't selling tea or coffee, or now it's that, what was that ASU thing? It's like the wheel,
The blessing circle.
The blessing
They
circle.
back on that?
Oh, man,
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, it's so, every time, some people, adults, they're chasing the next thing, frivolous thing. I always say that making money, first of all, is difficult. It's not easy legally. Well, illegally.
Well, I wouldn't say it's not easy, but it takes work.
No, you got to become good at what you do.
Absolutely. You have
So
to be
I don't care. So if you say, listen, I want to make a lot of money in real estate. First of all, you got to put a lot of time and know your real estate back and forth. Some people want to just sign up for a class and say they're going to make money in the stock market trading. It don't work like that. If that was the case, think about this. If you could just sign up for a class and pay $5,000 and $10,000, all of a sudden, this is how you're going to make your riches. Don't you think the federal government will pay everybody class that's in the hood, that's on Section 8? Yeah. They're enrolled. That'll be a requirement. If you want to get on Section 8, you got to get in a Forex club or a stock trading club, because we know you're going to start making a lot of money and you can get off welfare. Think about that. So don't be hustled saying, hey, I'm going to do this and this is a new thing. No, man, don't. If you want to make money, you got to be good at it. Not only have to be good at it, you got to put a lot of time in it. I don't care what it is. Yeah, there are people who are making a lot of money selling Tupperware, but they sleep Tupperware.
Eat, sleep, breathe Tupperware.
Sleep, and they ain't been doing it just last year. They've been doing it for 50 years. That's same way with Amway. Same way with, what's the other stuff? Herbalife?
Herbalife. Don't say the H, please.
Herbalife.
It reminds me, when you say you got to put time in so that you can get good at it, it reminds me of piano. So, I'm doing piano on Sundays now, right?
Yes.
So we brought that back. What's the word that I'm looking for? I don't know. But anyway, we're back playing piano. My daughter used to do piano at 4. Then she started doing soccer. Anyway, this past Sunday was my second week of piano.
Yeah, you was pretty good too.
Thank you.
Natural.
And I wanted to flip that piano over. Till I be talking to myself. I do voiceovers.
Yeah,
and he kept saying, again, everybody. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, what happened?
Mean everybody, he mean all the fingers laid out.
It took me a while to figure that out.
He mean like not just this finger, but this finger. He want every finger to lay down.
All the fingers.
But I love it. I'm back on Fur Elise, Beethoven. I'm loving it.
I get that. But I'm just telling you, and I'm having a moment of transparency with the 8 billion people on the planet. At a split second, I said, what happened if I just flip this piano over?
Oh,
what will happen? It's a thought, because I'm like, I'm going to take piano, and listen, my hands hurt, my forearms hurt, everything hurts. So when you say that in order to be good at something, you have got to put in the work.
Repetition.
And it's not just about your job. It's not just about when you want to make some money. It's not just about you being a parent. Anything that you want to excel at, you are going to have to put in the work. And sometimes putting in that work, you're going to want to flip a table.
You know what? That's interesting you saying that, because DJ, my 3-year-old grandson, he just learning how to talk. It took him 3 years to even when he says, Grandpa, he says that, right? But some things you can't understand.
Right.
But that is 3 years of him listening, waking up every day in class.
Right, absolutely.
3 years.
Absolutely.
Now, about 4th year, 4 years old, he probably just going to be running. Well, he's talking he's talking a lot right now. But I don't know if he's speaking German.
Right. You still figuring it out, right?
Yeah.
He might be putting you on to a new language.
Yes, in his last life. But my point is, there's repetition. He works at that every day.
Okay.
He works at speaking English every day.
Yes.
And guess what? If we were Chinese and he was born, every day, right now to 3, he would be learning
Chinese.
Mandarin.
Yeah, absolutely.
If he's Greek,
absolutely.
if he was whatever it is, the point is, you, me, all of us, the Creator equipped all of us to learn to do anything as long as we put the time into it. That's the point. There are kids right now that are in Germany. They just been born. They can't understand the language.
Yep.
They're 1 month years old. 1 month.
Yeah.
A month old. As they continue to hear it and watch it, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, they're going to be speaking it. That's the same in terms of any curriculum, anything that you want to learn. Don't think that you can just learn. You think DJ just could have started out at 1 month and say, I don't know how to talk, I'm not going to talk no more.
It just depends.
He was watching.
Right. He was trying to figure it out.
Right.
He's trying to figure it out. But that's interesting.
Think about that.
When we think about language and how children are born in different environments and they learn different languages based on what they're taught, that should be inspiration and a reminder for us that when we change our environment and be consistent with whatever it is we're engaged in, then we can experience success.
Yes.
Not before.
No, right.
You cannot be successful without changing your environment and experiencing repetition.
For us to learn securities or real estate or stocks or insurance or anything, you think we just open a book and read one book? Right. No, it don't work like that. It don't work like you think you can just want to learn a language and just take one course And that's it? No,
Doesn't work that way.
Doesn't work that way.
So let's talk about this picking one thing and sticking to it, because I want to really, and we got about 10 minutes left, but I want our community to understand the power of thinking new thoughts and doing things in a different way, no, regardless of how long you've been doing it one way, right? So I've been not using the heater for 39 years. And now today I cut on the heater. Woo, right? I can do something different. So when the example I gave of picking one thing and sticking to it, do you know how many people I have conversations with and they are miserable at their job or their career, and they're just like, well, I've been doing it for 30 years.
And they feel like they can't
do anything else.
That's conformist.
They can't do anything else. And it's not
it's
that you can't do anything else. It's that you have not thought about yourself and your life in a different way. So I think that that's important to share. Another space where people think and hold on to past beliefs and things like that, but it would benefit us if we thought about in a different way, is that's a waste of money. Anything we can say, oh, that's a waste. Traveling is a waste of money.
How can that be?
This is what we're talking about. We're talking about it today.
Right now, I mean, I got a big map on my wall. If any of you all have been in my office, though, I got a wall map, and it's so interesting. And we still go in there. As I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my God, there's so many places that I want to go and travel, but this COVID, I'll be glad when everything is cleared and this too shall pass. But there's so many places that we want to go. Traveling really opens our whole mind and vision. It does a whole lot for you.
It does. It's just not about, I know nowadays when the social media era, where like, oh, I want to go here because I want to take a picture by the beach and just post it on my Instagram. Like, no, you want to go and experience and immerse yourself into the different culture, the environment, see how they do things. Because traveling, one of the reasons why I love traveling is it reminds me that there is so much more that I didn't even know existed.
Yes.
And that the way that they do things differently, it also reminds me that there is a group of people somewhere else that are doing things a completely different way, and they believe that to be the way.
Now, do you think because you was born into a family that traveled, you think that had a whole lot to do with you, why you like it?
I don't know, because I could have. I remember some of the trips you've taken us on, I don't even remember them. You know, people are like, oh, have you been there? And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I've been there before.
You're kidding
Let me
me.
think. I know.
You don't remember Italy? I know you remember
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Yet. I remember Hawaii, and then
you went to Paris.
Yes, I remember Paris. But the point is, I had to get to a certain level of expanding my mind to looking at things differently. And so not everybody does that. And so that's why I wanted to bring this to the show, because it's just not about getting on a plane for the sake of saying I got a passport stamp,
right,
or for the sake of posting it. It's really about exploring
culture.
When you're there. It's about immersing yourself in the culture and experiencing different things, because you want to constantly be stretching your mind. Right? Okay. Another thing that I want to talk about is...
What's up, Tracy?
Oh, don't trust nobody. I think that's an old mindset that is keeping us limited as a people. What do you feel about that? I don't trust nobody. I don't trust people.
Well, that is so bad, because let me tell you something. Mm-hmm. You should be able to, because again, the Creator gave us something. You should be able to discern peace. When you're talking to someone, you should be able to, there's something inside of you, you should be able to say, okay, I recognize there's some peace. I recognize there is some intellect here. Mm-hmm. I recognize that there is some wisdom.
But people can only meet you where they are.
Right. Well, let me tell you something. Mm-hmm. I don't have a lot of time. Mm-hmm. Let me give you a perfect example.
You know, since you're 62, you always talking about what you ain't going to do, and you don't want to be around.
Let me tell you what just happened this week.
Okay. Tell us what happened.
A banker referred a client to us. Mm-hmm. Because the banker at this bank, I ain't gonna call a bank, but this banker refers a lot of clients to the Henderson Financial Group. Reason why is because the banker says when people come in there, they're only gonna give them 29-cent interest. Mm-hmm. You know,
that's all we could do.
That's all they could do. Mm-hmm. So this banker is a banker that really cares about people. Mm-hmm. Rarely, because most of the time, whatever bank you go to, they're just gonna sign you up.
Right, give me your money,
give you some junk, and
put it
whatever.
Here.
So this guy says he sends us a lot of clients. Mm-hmm. So he says, Henderson, there's this one guy, he says he's a good guy. Mm-hmm. This guy has $100,000 and is sitting in this bank here earning nothing. Mm-hmm. And he's had it for a while. He said, Henderson, I want to introduce him to you all so you can show them and you can put them in that.
You still taking your vitamins?
Yeah, just a look.
I just want to make sure.
I did that, okay?
I'm just...
So anyway, so I talked to the guy. Tavares talked to him. Mm-hmm. So we set up the account. We said, what we're going to do, we're going to roll over from the bank and we're going to put it, and we're going to invest it, and it's very conservative, and you're going to get 11%, and on 100,000, it's $11,000 just a dividend. Okay, so in 30 days, when he rolled the money over, we said, okay, you're gonna get $900 and some every month.
Okay.
He liked that.
Okay.
Because that's totally more than what he was getting
At the bank.
At the bank.
Right.
Bank was paying him 29 cents a month. Okay. So I talked to him, Tavares talked to him, I talked to him, and he said everything was fine. And then we put it in the account, and he was able to look on his phone.
Right.
So a week went by.
Right.
Things looking good. Then the market pulled back the other day. The market pulled back. He called Tavares saying, "Oh, I don't like this. I'm looking right here, and my principal is down."
But you still gonna get
his principal was down. Let's
Right.
say $800. I
Right.
say, well, it's like they're gonna pay you every month.
your tenant's still paying rent.
Right.
Right.
I say, since you have this money in here, they're gonna pay you 11%. So, matter of fact, I say, in the next 3 weeks, they're gonna give you $916. And he said, "I hear that, Mr. Henderson, but I don't play about my money."
Come get your money.
I want to say it right on the phone. I
Right.
want to say, come
get your money.
No, not come get it. We're going to
Send it to you
ACH your money right back into the bank.
tomorrow. I'll be there.
But I told him, I said, just wait a minute. He like, nah, listen, man, I watch. I said, well, how often do you watch it? He said, I watch it every day.
Ooh.
I said, if you watching every day, that's like a kid in the back seat, and you the parent, and taking them to Disney World, and they keep saying, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we yet?"
A watch pot never boils.
What?
Have you heard that before?
No, myself. A watch pot never boils.
Because you don't cook. You
don't
don't even
cook at
know
all.
how long it takes some water to boil.
Okay.
A watch pot
That's
never
too
boils.
much information. Okay, let me get back to my story. So what happened? This is real life. This just happened. So I looked and I said, as I was talking to him, I said, okay, it's down $800, but that's just today. Yesterday was up. He says it's down. I said it's not going to dip. It's going to be down $1,000, $2,000. It will dip like that. It's like checking your property on Zillow. It's like putting your address in and going to Zillow, and all of a sudden Zillow say your property is worth this.
Yes.
And then 2 days later you check and they'll say, well, it's worth that.
Yeah.
You don't freak out and say, oh my God.
Yeah.
So the point is, I told him, I said, listen, you don't watch it every day. If you watch this every day, I said, it's like watching your child every day grow. You don't do that. You just trust. The banker told you, we've been doing this for 30 years. We got you, man. Nah, man. I don't want to play like that. And you know what? It brought back some old 30-year-old memories.
Right.
When we used to take people off, anybody used to come off the street, we used to take their money and invest, right? And they had bad understanding. You know what I said? I said, listen, don't worry about it, man. We going to get you back. I said, just give it a month. I hung up the phone. I told Tavares, I say, this was on a Friday, last Friday. I told Tavares, as soon as that mess go back up, send him his money.
Yeah.
Listen, Monday came. It was up $1,500 more. It was up $1,500 more than this $100,000. So it was $100,000 plus $101,500. I told Tavares,
Send him his money.
sell it, send him his money.
Right.
Tavares said, well, in 3 weeks he get $900 more for the dividend.
In addition to the $11.50.
In addition to $11.50.
No.
I took pleasure.
Yes.
I said, oh my God, send that man. So I called the banker and I told the banker, I said, I cannot deal with scary money.
Right.
And people are going to be looking at this stuff every day.
Right.
Stay home.
Right.
Don't call me. I
Right.
don't have no time for that.
Right.
And you know what the banker says? I don't blame you, Robert.
Yeah.
Because I said the fee on that, you know what the fee on that was? $1,000 for the whole year.
A headache.
A headache. So we gonna make $1,000 over
I gotta
12
massage
months,
you
and you
every
gotta
time
massage this
no.
food. He looking at. I said, oh no. That's worse than a little baby.
Right.
A grown baby. Yes, he didn't understand, but he got to figure it out somewhere else.
And it's not that he didn't understand and you just said no. You
It's
tried
fear.
to explain.
Yeah, he didn't hear me.
You tried to explain, and I think that that's so important. That goes back to the programming and thinking about things in a different way.
Yes.
Because we can get stuck in, I don't play about my money, but ain't nobody playing about your money.
Nah, you know
like
what?
that's we said that a long time ago. We don't
Listen.
play about your money either.
I called to find out that was that money back into the bank. The banker said, yes, it is.
Yeah.
I said, I want him to rejoice in how much
Right.
just that little time.
A week.
Yeah. He got $1,500 on top of his $100,000.
Right.
Now put it back in the bank so they can start paying him 29 cents a month.
Absolutely.
A month. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's how we roll. We ain't
Yeah.
got no time for that. That's when I started saying you gotta have the spirit of discernment. We've been doing this a long time. It's our reputation.
Yeah.
We're gonna take care. We're we're not going to put you in nothing that's going to lose your money. We're going to tell you, listen, let's look at your goals and objectives. What are you trying to do? That's what we're going to have a conversation with you, you know? So it's not gambling over here.
Nah. I love that. And the example you gave, I want to add this really quickly, is it reminds me of years ago when the real estate crash happened, right? And people were intentionally losing their properties. They were like, oh, no, well, the value was down. I'm upside down. I'm going to try to short sell it, or I'm just going to let it go. And these were rental properties. And I said,
that makes no sense.
What do you care what the value says? Your tenant's still paying you rent every month,
Section
right?
8, too.
Right. You still getting rent? Yes. Why do you care? Nah, it's upside down. It's upside down. You need to stop having these conversations with the people at the water cooler. Because when you let your property go, they're the ones who are going to come in and say, let me get this property. So it's a thinking about things in a different way, realizing where you need to unstuck yourselves. And only you can unstuck yourself, because you can be aligned with the people. You can be given the information. But if you are not ready to unstuck yourself, you're still going to be ending up making decisions that aren't wise and don't get you to your goal of really and truly building financial wealth.
The spirit of fear, man. I always say, when clients call here and they say, listen, I heard about you guys, and you're a family oriented type, then and they watch us and see us, then that's better than sending your money to some big firm and you don't even know the people, you can't talk to them, you don't know what they look like, you just become a number. And you dare to say, hey, how much money you gonna make, or scared? No. Listen, we family oriented. We treat your money like it's our money. And trust me, when we get your money, we look at it like it's our money. Trust me. I used to have more hair than this.
Yeah. He always says that. But it's so funny when you call here and they call and they do a discovery call, the first question I ask is, do you watch us on Facebook or YouTube?
Yes.
And some people say yes, some people say no. And I always say, because if you watch us, then you'll get a feel for us.
Yes.
You'll understand how we operate, our mindset, some of our beliefs, our core values. And that is very important, especially when dealing with your money. So we don't want to keep you too long. You have been listening to Transitions, Life Lessons, and Legacy. I am Hyacinth Henderson, and he is my pops, my daddy, as he would like to say, Mr. Robert Henderson Jr. Do you want to have time to go through the list, the shout out? You want to do it?
Yes. Iris, hello. Oh, yes. Iris is cold in Atlanta.
Yes.
Hi, Miss Redhead. Oh, my goodness. Yes. Look at that. That's Pearson. That's Bobby.
Don't skip Miss Redhead. Miss Redhead be having my back. I love me some Miss Redhead. She said, too. Girl, it's cold. Sleep in whatever keeps you warm.
And she also said that she hadn't heard that term, that phrase you just said about the boiling pot in a long time.
You got your glasses on. She said, well, she hadn't heard it in a long time, but she's heard it before.
Yeah.
So she's team Hyacinth.
Yeah.
All right, keep going.
All right, go ahead.
Baba
Happy Wednesday, Baba. Who else we got here?
Pearson.
Got June, Daddy.
My girl June.
Okay, we
Miss
got Dorothy Henderson.
Miss Dorothy Henderson. Hey.
Look at Baba all up in there, man.
Thank you.
Baba.
Yes. And you all who are still here, make sure you hit the share button. It doesn't matter if they like it, they're looking. And I believe that we shared some very important information today. So please do us all a favor and share this with your timeline, share it with your audience. And let's go to the next level.
We got
my girl Diana. They want more and better. I love it. Yes.
And Tracy, come on, Tracy. I'm keeping the light on for you, Tracy. All right, my brother from another mother. All right, listen, I think it was a great show about thinking outside the box and making a change, doing things in a different way. That's the only thing that separates us, really, the way we think and doing things in a certain way. That's the only thing.
That's it.
That separates us.
Yeah, because you what is that saying? Egg, what? Oh, let me
here
not
you
get
come
it.
and go.
You don't, okay, you don't want, because you don't want the people to know you don't cook. You're not gonna get it, so I'll tell y'all later.
I never made it. I never cooked. I could pay for what I need.
Right? You know what? You're right.
That's right.
You're right. I was doing homework with the grandson yesterday, and I was like, I gotta do my work. I can't. And a little voice said, Hyacinth, pay somebody to do this.
Yeah.
95% of your problems can be solved by writing a check.
That's right.
Hire a tutor.
That's right. If you have the money. Only if you have the money. If I had the money, I'd be cooking, washing dishes. Hey, I'll be cutting the yard. But that's why I said, But anyway.
All right, good. So you've been listening to Transitions. Don't forget tonight, Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, The Rising Solution. The Rising Solution with Antonio Woodbury and No Facebook Tavares will be here on the Henderson Financial page at 7 p.m. tonight. Then on Saturday morning, Mr. Henderson kicks off our Saturday with the 8 a.m. Understanding Money show. At 9:15 is the American Cream. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that this week.
No?
Maybe I'll come in tomorrow and record
Okay.
it. 9:15 is the American Cream, and then we're back at 10 a.m., 10:30 on Saturday with the
Oh, last
Understanding
Saturday,
Money
you know,
Part
we
2.
had Les Brown on.
I saw that. I shared that.
did?
I was like, this
Les
is
Brown
the
was
one.
on the 10:30 show.
Yes, he was. And so if you haven't watched that yet, go back and watch it. It's still on the 10:30, still on the Henderson Financial Group Facebook page. On the 10:30 show, Les came in as he always does and dropped some bombs, some information. He woke us all up. If you were still sleeping, he got you up. So make sure you watch it. That was on a 10:30 show last Saturday. And then on Saturday, so that's Saturday,
Right.
1, 2, 3. And then on Sunday, we kick off the week because Sunday is the first day of the week. We kick off the week at 6 p.m. with Baggage Claim. You can catch all of our shows on the Henderson Financial Group Facebook page. If you are old school and play by the old rules and are ready for change, give us a call at the office. That's 305-825-1444. Once again, 305-825-1444. It has been an honor and a pleasure. Stay safe and stay sane. You got something to say?
Peace.